Yo, man, I know what you're thinking, right? But I ain't one of them vanilla ice fools, man. I know what's the deal, you know. I know what's up. That's.
I don't want Timmy to come over. I don't like him.
Why?
'Cause he's weird.
Am I weird? Am I weird? Am I everything you fear? Am I the voice in the void, in the space between your ears? Am I leading you to hell? Are you wishing well? Am I bolting you to heaven with a hypnagogic spell? Can you smell it on my breath? Is it the whispering of death, of the slumbering aroma of the cousin of a coma? Lie up on the sofa, relax and let your lids rest. Look into the nothing to see traces of the infinite. I am the bird boy with busted wing, singing on the sidewalk, hiding from the nighthawk. I am the blood pudding, you are the golden spoon. We are conjoined corollaries in a throbbing womb. Kinda weird. Am I weird? Am I wild? Am I free? Am I you? Are you me? Must you shut your eyes to see? Is the treetop cradle faded to the weather? Is to fortify foundations a trivial endeavor? Hush, my darling, don't fuss, my angel. What's an anaconda? What is it to be strangled? Death is only practice, resistance is madness. Every latter step is an exercise in sadness. Lay up on the mattress, aren't you feeling listless? Give your lungs a rest, exhale that breath. It stirs the dust particles, sparkling in the blackness, landing in the eyes of the baby in the basket. Merrily, merrily drifting downstream, awaiting tragedy or charity. It all is but a dream.
Well, it puts the lotion on his skin, or else it gets the hose again. 1, 2, 3. mighty sharp. Oh, well, poor old Eddie loved the dead, dug up their grave, chopped off their head, he made them into clothes he could wear. Well, this works of art was awful dark, his red and evil, awful sharp, he crafted him an outfit, debonair. It was a people suit, save my skin for people suit, gonna wear it all over town. Gonna dig 'em up and skin 'em down and wear my people suit around. People suit is looking mighty sharp. Oh, well, Ned says I am so divine, made people curtains, people lines, I'm sure that Martha Stewart would be proud. Well, his needlework drove him berserk, and whole day world thought him a jerk. Go ahead, we'll raise a glass and sing about. We're people suit, say my skin for people suit, gonna wear it all over town. Gonna dig 'em up and skin 'em down and wear my people suit around. People suit is looking mighty sharp. All night long, I need a shovel and some scissors, boys. Dig 'em up, skin 'em down, and wear my people suit all over town. Dig 'em up and skin 'em down, and wear my people suit around. People suit is looking mighty sharp. Well, it puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. People suit is looking mighty sharp. People suit is looking mighty sharp.
I'm at home, baby. I'm at home, motherfucker. Tonight the music sings so loud. I wish that we could love this crowd. Maybe it's better this way. We love each other with the things we want to say. We could have.
Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for all your blessings. You said in all things give thanks. So we want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you've brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. And most of all, we thank you for Roush and Yates partnering to give us the power that we see before us tonight. Thank you for GM Performance Technology and the RO7 engines. Thank you for Sunoco Racing Fuel and Goodyear tires that bring performance and power to the track. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. My two children, Eli and Emma, or as we like to call them, the little E's. Lord, I pray you bless the drivers and use them tonight. May they put on a performance worthy of this great track. In Jesus' name, boogity, 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 amen.
How are you guys doing today? Are you thankful? Are you excited? Am I loud enough? Hugin's being fussy. If you hear him screaming, he's being difficult today. We've gone on many walks. You hear that? We played. I gave him foods and snacks and treats. And nippies. He's on to me, though, because he's had too many nippies, which are his new thing besides chicken weenies. He's had too many. So I'll fake throw them. Like I don't have anything, and I'll just pretend I threw one, and he'll go looking for it for like 10 minutes, and then there's nothing. And I feel bad, but I can't. I can do that one too, yeah. I can't just like give him nippies all day. Also, you're looking at Hog's Breath mini bar cam. How loud am I being? Okay. The old man is sleeping because he's been at work pretty late. They've been getting out pretty late. And tonight he's got to work even later, and they're doing a deep clean in the morning. So I'm trying not to wake his ass up. Now Hugin's already awake and he's out of control. Look at all these old people drinking on a Saturday. Damn. Remember when we saw someone buy cocaine here, right? You've been to this bar at Wilder Times? Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Cover your ears. Oh, Jesus. What the hell? Oh, my God. That's not GM Performance Technology. Oh, Jesus. You know what? Okay. Well, that just came off. Did you do this, Hugin? Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn myself off for a second, fix this, because it just fell off the table. I hope it's not broken. Goddamn. That was crazy. And I will get adjusted. I'll put a video on for you. Give me 1 second. Jesus Christ, that was scary. The whole arm just like fell off of the counter. Oh my God, that could have been bad. That could have been way louder and bad for you guys. I apologize. Here. This is how I feel right now, by the way. Now that happened. Oh man. Hold on. I think let's do some lurks and squirms. We haven't done that in a while. And then I'm going to tell you guys about a new segment we're going to do. I know only me, right? What the fuck? What is wrong with me?
Hello, folks. Nuck here. A lot of you have been asking me about my morning routine, so here it is. It's my new teeth. Snort-worthy smile, if you ask me. So I like to start my morning by waking up at 2 in the afternoon, get a quick lift, lick, and lurk in before I go off and spend the next several hours in the woods. And this time is mainly for my freeform lurks. I just lurk like no one's watching. Then I head into town to do some casual creeping. I mean, I'm freaking everyone out because I'm getting in my squirms. But you gotta squirm to stay firm. I forget what I'm doing for the next 3 days and get an office job that I absolutely hate. Spend most of my time hiding in the storage closet, but all my coworkers know I'm in there. The next 26 hours I'm purposefully unconscious, come to so I can try on some tuxes because I'm getting married. Love to Ragnora. I'll practice my funeral for 30 minutes, at which point I gotta pretend to listen to someone tell me about a dream they have, but I'm really just thinking about what I'm gonna say. Then, and this is important, I'll just wait, eerily, for hours. What am I waiting for? A big heap of nothing. I wait to wait. I'll spend 2 minutes trying to create fire with my mind, giving me just enough time for a last lurk before the day begins. That's the Bobo way.
Oh my God. I'm trying not to sneeze too. Oh my God, don't do it. Held it in. Successful. Okay. Sorry, guys. I was also recording shit early this morning, and I feel like I keep losing my voice, and then I get really close to having it back, and then fucking craps out. Hog's breath is wild. Look how busy it is. Okay, so why are we here today? I told you guys last night. Did you guys, by the way, did you like the grave robbing episode? Oh man, there's a rich history there. We didn't even get to Moshtoberfest. So we're going to do that next time. But I did promise you last night, I said, maybe we'll do something like a members only, but for sure, we're going to go over this video because we didn't get to watch the whole thing. You know, it's like pretty long. Be a whole episode by itself. We had to get to the main event, right? Well, then I thought, well, they stuck with me through that. And that was a long-ass episode. So if I'm going to do an episode where we analyze, break down, and then talk about the possibilities of who is the grave robbing for morons guy, then it's only fair to do it on the main channel without members only. So we're going to do that. Okay. We're going to go over that today. It's not going to be super long, but we're going to go through it. And I'm going to tell you pretty much all the lore around it. It's one of those internet mysteries that kind of reminds me of the 9/11 guy. Kind of reminds me of Frosty Austin. Kind of reminds me of a couple of things we've talked about where it's still a mystery, you know? There's no official word on what ended up happening here. I think that this one's pretty messed up, but it's not as disturbing as a few others. There's a few others that, believe it or not, are way worse. There's one called Dr. Gloves, and we might do it up. I mean, we're going to do an episode on that, but that one's going to have to be members only. That's probably, I mean, that's the most fucked up internet mystery maybe of all time. I think maybe of all time. It really disturbs me, sickens the fuck out of me to even look into it, but all the more reason to look into it and to show it to more people, because I truly believe that that person needs to get caught. But this is one where it's more of like lore, mystery. Is it urban legend? Determining whether it's real or fake. And there's also some interesting recent developments that I kind of wanted to wait on to tell you about, but we'll get to it today. I'll tell you the most recent stuff going on with grave robbing for morons guy. Okay. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to analyze the video. I'm going to tell you more about what others have done to figure out who this guy is, how far back we know for sure the video goes, and some of the interesting things that can be gleaned from it that also seem to be evidence or possible tips on how to maybe figure out who this kid was, who was robbing graves. Dude, I want to see, they should let the raccoons loose in Hog's Breath. That would be amazing. Dude, that is the crossover people want. Nobody wants to see Family Guy crossover with The Simpsons. I want to see Raccoon Saloon crossover with Hog's Breath, 100%. Yeah, a couple of people have talked about that a long ass time ago. I can't remember if that was in I can't remember. I think that was a Topics in a data lounge, but it's definitely not him. Especially because of the ages and what he looks like. Like, he looks nothing like that kid. But yeah, we're definitely going to see some weird stuff today. Today, you're going to see some really weird stuff. Speaking of weird stuff, oh my God, it's Dawn Marie. Dawn Marie, you're my little weird lemon. Hey, Dawn. You and who else in here is from New York? Jen, and Darlene. Very curious if you guys recognize or think he looks familiar, the guy from the grave robbing for morons video. Now, he does drop a lot of hints that I think maybe only a New Yorker would know. Sunflower, you're a New Yorker? Excellent. He drops some hints that I'm very curious about. For example, he talks about a magic shop. So for a while there, I was on a big fucking rabbit hole about the history of magic shops, voodoo, various different little bodegas in New York that perhaps dibble dabble in voodoo, in that entire community there. I had to learn about the history of a place called Whitestone in Queens. Spent a lot of time looking for a guy named Screws. But a lot has been done to tap into this mystery. And so today I was thinking, let's analyze it. Now, before we do that, we have some house cleaning. I have a new segment that I wanted to start on the 1st of January. And it was kind of my resolution. Okay. Oh, just mainly perspective. And do you know this guy? That type of stuff. So there is something I wanted to do. It was kind of like my New Year's resolution even. And it was to be more consistent and to pick a segment, stick with it. Now, obviously, we're always going to have the Obology line, but we go in and out of that. But a while back, one of you kids mailed me a bird calendar because we're all big fucking birds. And this one I got again is for 2026, which is why I wanted to start it on January 1st. Now, I already ripped January 1st off of it, but I was thinking every time we do a show, whatever the date is, we will do a daily bird. So this is what the calendar looks like. As you can see, it's one of those desk calendars. And it's got daily bird affirmations, I guess, or bird offerings, bird droppings, if you will. So right now we are on the 10th. Okay, so we've got quite a few of them to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read all the daily birds up to today, which is the 10th. All right, since we missed some. Because maybe there's a little bird nugget in here that rings true to your heart. This daily bird from January 2nd says, I'm so glad that I don't understand any of this horse shit. Okay? So that's the daily bird for the 2nd. Okay. It's called Big Effin' Birds or something. Okay. So then Saturday and Sunday in January are combined. Looks like a swallow. It says fill in the blanks and then turn the page. So you guys can do this one for me. I'll let you guys pick whoever has a good one. Number 1, pick a negative adjective. So someone in chat give me a negative adjective. Okay. Negative adjective. Yeah, this one's Mad Libs. I'll write it on there. No, Rat House Media is not a negative adjective. Come on, guys. Dangerous. Okay. Dangerous, the first one I saw. All right. And now the second and last one is a bad weather event. It's a bad weather event. We'll wait for the first one. Who comes up with it? Hurricane? Okay. Hurricane. So the Saturday Sunday devotional for last week from the Daily Bird calendar says fill in the blanks, then turn the page. And just so you can see, I'm not fucking with you. It says that. Okay. Let me make myself big so you can see. All right. So here's the bird devotional. So we've got dangerous and hurricane. This is like a fucking dangerous shit hurricane. So we're going to put dangerous shit hurricane. Okay. Done. This is like a dangerous shit hurricane. Okay. January 5th, Monday. The Daily Bird. Stop being a dick. Nice. January 6th, Tuesday. Are you fucking serious right now? I like that one. Wednesday, January 7th. I'm sorry, did I interrupt your bullshit? I like that one a lot. This might be my favorite so far. Thursday, January 8th. This shit is obviously fucked. Okay. And then January 9th, which was yesterday. I am a goddamn delight, says this bird. Okay. Now today's. Now it is the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So today's is another Mad Lib, and we will finish with this one, and then we will be caught up on our daily birds. Okay, fill in the blanks. The name of a close family member. I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to pick Dawn Marie since she showed up today. Dawn Marie, you're a close family member. All right, one of you guys pick a very personal item. What is a very personal item? First person to say it gets in the bird book. I'm a goddamn delight is your favorite. Awesome. What's a very personal item? Ring. Oh, wait, tampon. Red House Media. I like ring, but I have to overrule it because tampon. Fuck, tombstones. I was going to go with tampon, but Total Eclipse said Diva Cup. We're going with Diva Cup. Diva Cup is really good. We already said Dawn Marie, and that's a D. We're going to go with the D theme. All right, let's see what this says. We fill this out, and then we will read our daily bird. Oh, shit. Dawn Marie, I apologize. Shit. I didn't know it was going to go this way. Honestly, I would rather like Dawn Marie's Diva Cup. There you go. There you go. Okay. How wilder times you want me to read the 31st because it's your birthday on the 31st? Well, normally I'd say we have to wait, but I'll go ahead and read it for you. Oh, shit. It's another fill in the blank. We can't do it ahead of time. But I'll tell you, it says, would you look at this blank, blank, blank eater? Daily Bird. And I'm thinking maybe we'll give some of these away eventually. That'll be fun. Or if you guys, I actually do have something I wanted to put up for sale again because I forgot I had another box of cassettes and I was like, oh yeah, I'll put these up in the store. And then I fucking forgot. They've just been sitting there chilling. The Obology line cassettes, the gold ones. I think I have 2 gold and 1 rose gold left. I just forgot about them. And then I was like, oh shit, I should put those up. So maybe we'll do a thing. Maybe I'll sell those and throw a couple of these in there with them. These are so funny. Thank you to whoever did that. Need to look up who did that. Who sent me that? Unless you're in here, speak now. You're all wrong. That's our Daily Birdle. Birdle. Writing that down. Writing that down. Birdle. I love that. Daily Birdle is way better than Daily Bird. Fuck. Good job. Okay. Real quick. Before we continue, I have one more thing to show you. And please do not sue me for it. If you try to sue me over it, I am going to hire this guy.
Your Honor, Deferk. Miss Janice.
Judge Athens.
Your Honor, this is so unfair. Your Honor, I think I want to appeal. Your Honor. Your Honor, stop. This is propaganda. Your Honor, this is fake. Don't believe what they say.
Your Honor, Deferk, this is propaganda. Stephen, I have some cassettes. Were you not here for that? So we had a couple of cassettes that we made from the Obology line that were old school cassettes, just like the ones that used to trade with the early Apology line where people would record them. But I had some custom made for merch, and I got, I was supposed to be 20, but they gave me extras, 1 of each, the gold and the rose gold, 2 shipments, and I think it was like 2 dozen of them or something. And I kept a few of the cassettes, and then I forgot about them, and they're just chilling, and I'm like, oh shit. Oh, you don't know what cassettes are. They are square CDs. Don't worry your brain with it, Stephen. You're too young. Earmuffs. Earmuffs. Dude, I wish that's crazy you say that. Slippery When Wet, Bon Jovi, first cassette tape I ever owned. Yes, you could put it on a chain. You could go Logan Paul. I get what you kids do. Skibbity, 6'7", all that shit. Sure. Absolutely. You're Jen's sister? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Crazy Jen? Oh, we love her. Did you like the pickle? I told her she's purposefully causing tragedies so that she can get a whole bunch of pickles. That's the goal. She actually suggested it, but I was thinking it. What do you think of that pickle? You like it? Did it make it not so bad that everyone you love is dying? Seeing a pickle? That shit's crazy, right? A yodeling fucking pickle? Oh my God. Oh shit. Are you guys just killing off your relatives so that I'll send you pickles? Because I'll just send you yodeling pickles. You don't have to do it. Don't have to go that far. Oh shit. My uncle is next, said more. Holy fuck. For those of you who don't know, don't recall, Jen's whole family keeps dying horrifically. And the first time it happened, we sent her a yodeling pickle. And then I guess the family fought over it. Jen may or may not have hidden it inside of her. I don't know what happened. I'm not here to get to the nitty gritty of that. But let's just say Jen's sister is now in here threatening Unc to get another yodel pickle, and I'm about to hook him up. Okay? It's happening. It's fucking happening. It's too late. You're already a witness. Can I get a witness? Like, y'all are over here just knocking off relatives. They're like, they're not that expensive. I'll just get you guys pickles. God damn it. Yeah, they are menaces. I love it. Absolutely love it. I bet Jen's sister knows the grave robbery guy. How much do you want to bet you know him? Very mysterious circumstances. You get the wrong uncle. Not pickle related deaths. Jesus Christ. We're just going to blame it on Snooki. We're going to say Snooki did it. Dude, Sam's Club pickles. You know, one of you guys was talking about leaving your mayonnaise out last night. And me and Dylan were talking about other things that go in the fridge. And then it occurred to us, like, pickles, right? They, like, if you go buy them at the convenience store, they come in a big ass bottle or jar. They don't go in the fridge. So I'm pretty sure Snooki ate my son. Holy shit. Snooki ate my son. Dude, Snooki was at WrestleMania. You need to chill, meat sweats. Florida bad? Well, yeah, of course it's bad, but hog's breath good. Also, I think this lady just did coke. I think she just did coke. What is she looking at on her phone? You know we can hear them on this one. Ooh. Is this dude crying? I think that dude's crying. Let's count how many people are on their phones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and showing someone something. 6, also showing someone something. 7, 8. God damn. 9. Okay. Everyone needs to get off their fucking phone at the hog's breath. Yeah, I think he was drunk crying, but now he's cheersing his wife. What a sweetie. Dude, this lady looks like she was on Rock of Love bus, and I love that for her. This dude's about to walk up and go, "Can I have that dance?" No, not really. That's so many. Why is the POS blinking like crazy? I think their POS is broken. Anyway, this dude over here on stage has the voice of an angel. My son did a condom and put mayo in it. And in a mailbox, she was a bitch. Darlene, that's the shirt. That's going on the shirt. It's gonna be on the shirt. I hope they're not paying that guy to say, I mean, they're paying, but like, they're not giving him money. If that's what you mean. They're paying for something. They are atoning for sins right now. That's the only reason you would go to Hog's Breath is to repent and atone. Who are they waving at? Okay. Anyway, we digress. You can get some soft shell crab. You can get some go ahead and order it. We're going to dine and dash, so order whatever you kids want today. Whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Everyone does look the exact same. Welcome to being old, Stevie. We all look the same. Pretty soon you're going to look just like all of us. Okay? Damn, dude. I mean, I think we found where everyone goes to get wet. Just kidding. Okay. Gotta remind you guys of something else before I forget. Shaq can and will levitate. I was actually trying to think last night about what's funnier, Shaq floating in the air or that time Chet Hanks started speaking patois. I can't think of which one's funnier, but they both make me laugh really hard. Chet Hanks is hilarious. I don't care. I don't care what anybody thinks. He's the best. Can we get a seafood shout out? Dude, shout out to seafood. Shout out to the crabs. Shout out to crabbing and crabbery. Shout out to octopi, octopus. Shout out to the crustacean station in my brain. Shout out to mollusks of all kinds. Shout outs to, what are those things called that I really like? The little, why am I blinking? They're the best. Scallops. Shout out to scallops. Shout out to oysters. Shout out to prawns. Also, I was watching something and there was a British comedian who said, was it British? No, he was Mexican. And he said, in Mexico, we call him, or in Spain, he's Spanish Mexican. And he said, in my country, we call them shrimp. About butterface. They were talking about the concept of a butterface, someone who's got everything's pretty butterface, you know? And they said, we call them shrimp. And then everyone was like, why? And he's like, because you chop the head off and then you go to town or something. And then someone in the comments said, in Australia, we call them prawns. Very funny to me. The geoduck? Is that how you say it? I am Patrick Ford. Who are you? Dude, me too. I'm Pat Ford. FBI agent. Oh my God, Pat Sanford is meeting Patrick Ford. Holy shit, is it truck month? I'll fuck you up. Uh-oh. I want to let you guys fight in the comments. On the subject of grave robbing, which we were talking about all last night, Zach D. Films made something very interesting. I guess he invented like a coffin to stop grave robbers. You tell me what you think.
A torpedo was hidden in the corpse's armpit as they were buried. And when a grave robber opened the coffin, it would trigger a tripwire inside. This released a firing pin, and as the gunpowder ignited, the explosion blasted metal balls straight into the thief's face. This would kill them instantly, and it acted as a warning to others. Leave the dead in peace or become one of them.
So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. So before we get started with grave robbing for morons, I figured we would go over some things I also wanted to go over last night and didn't get a chance to, that I thought you guys would really like. Okay? So let me pull this up for you. White boy. Okay, here, let me do. Oh yeah, and also don't forget that I interviewed Julie Albert from the Karen Reed case, and this is how it went.
My father gets a job at the Palm Restaurant. My Uncle Junior works there, who was a Jehovah's Witness, believe it or not. He went from Catholic to Jehovah. So basically, my grandmother wanted us all to switch from Catholic to Jehovah. You know, meanwhile, we're from Harlem. My father's doing coke. You know, my mother thinks she's Aunt Margaret. She's teasing the hair with a bottle of vodka. You know, so dysfunctional, cross-addicted family, still cooking pasta on Sundays. And the meatballs, they wind up being burnt.
Okay. So that was my interview with Julie Albert. I think it went pretty well. Also, You guys might need a little bit of this before we get started.
Get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Big boy ain't getting on the roof. Never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Big boy ain't getting on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy drill on the roof. Never seen a big boy drill on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy drill on the roof. Big boy drilling on the roof. Big boy drilling on the roof. Big boy ain't drilling on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Big boy ain't climbing on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. How you do it like that? Damn, you got tools on your back. Climbing on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Shit, big boy get loose. Shit, big boy get loose. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never shoot any balls on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof.
Okay, but imagine you know the song, we are Charlie Kirk, but it's we are John Barron. I don't know. So I wanted to show you guys some footage of the Moose Lodge because I never take you. And I know you always ask about it. I know you all want to develop drinking problems. And that's fine for me. I'm just your dad. So I wanted to show you some of the hot ladies your dad's been hanging out with at the Moose Lodge, courtesy of MD Smith. And I wish I could tell you I was kidding, but the post actually does say the ladies at the Moose Lodge. So, Crips, Bloods, Latin Kings, please enjoy.
All your ladies pop your pussy like this. Shake your body, don't stop, don't miss. All your ladies pop your pussy like this. Shake your body, don't stop, don't miss. Just do it.
All you ladies just poop, don't piss. Dude, you get free bleed at the Moose Lodge. It's fine. They can't stop you. I haven't bled in that. I haven't bled in that way since I was 31. Good for you. We are all legacies of the Moose Lodge. Look at these women out here just free bleeding and singing in Crocs and Vans. Crocs and Vans.
Do it, do it, do it, do it now. Do it good. Suck this pussy.
Which one of these do you want to be your new stepmom? Dude, I told you. I sent my guns in. I sent MD Smith 3116 from TikTok in. I said, show me some of that product.
Just like you should. Right now, look it good. Suck this pussy just like you should.
My back, my pussy, and my crack. Oh. Now, I do want to warn you, she's about to go full college professor and put her leg up on the table while thrusting at your face. So is that the one you want for a stepmom? Do you like a skater girl? Should I hang out with her later, girl? Or do you want old free bleed Franny in the back? You choose. Before you throw pennies at them, I'm going to have to insist that you check to make sure they're not 1943 issued pennies, because those are worth, more than a pretty penny. Not to nerd out over it, but let's be careful there before we throw change at the hose. No, this is from the album. They're lip syncing. Is it because they're free bleeding? Trigger warning, they are free bleeding and they are singing. Hello, Claudia. Damn it, Dana. Which one's your favorite? So I'm just saying, when you guys are like, what does she do? When she's not on the channel, this is what I fucking do. Don't worry about what I do. I'm doing this with my friends. Wow, those are not Crocs. Those are just big blue shoes. She is her hype woman. She took her Celexa today. I'm very proud of her. My pussy and my crack. Your crack? We are Charlie Kirk. Oh, look at her making eye contact with the camera. Listen, if you guys want to remake this video, I can't say I won't shower you with free merch, but it could happen. Because if you're going to learn all these moves and remake this video and go to your local Moose Lodge and film it and then send it to me, I am going to play it. You will be heavily rewarded and possibly fined and put in jail. So by all means, get that lick. How do you know Cupcocky? Dude, I opened for Cupcake once. That's crazy. No one has ever dropped her name. Ever. To me. That is amazing. Holy shit. Holy shit. Lick this pussy just like you should. Did she just flick at her hype man's bean? Holy shit. Are these the two Pats? Oh my god, it's the two Pats. Also, this dude's over here filming, so we got two camera angles. I want to see the other. I want to see the other.
Oh. You guys just do your fucking thing. You jump from the bed, step to the front, then share it all with the lust of your. Make sure you have eyes on your. You jump from the bed, step to the front, then share it all with your.
I mean, I would roll down the jeans though right here. I think that's a little excessive. Anyway, they're doing a good job. They're doing a good job, and I like them. Are you ready for the funny part? That one is a judge. And the one on the right, also a judge. Isn't that crazy? Judges. They are both judges. They are women of the cloth. Would you believe it? Okay, well, guess what? I made it up. It's bullshit. Don't believe everything you're told. But also, they could be judges. They should be judges. You know what? I'm gonna write them in. I'll find their names. We'll track them down. We'll write them in. Just kidding. In all seriousness, remember how you guys wanted an update on S-Dog and T-Bird? Well, here you go. This is them. Where are they now? Here they are. This is S-Dog and T-Bird. Rest in peace, little drive-by. Rest in peace, little drive-by. It does. It absolutely does. You know, you started the rumor. You told the lie. You got to go with it. Okay? Double down. If people try to argue with you, start a sock account. If they call you on your bullshit publicly on YouTube, tell everyone that they climbed in your window and tried to touch you inappropriately, and then file charges. Okay? It's the only way out. It's the only way out. You need to pop it, and then you need to send me a video. But also, I'll be praying for you, and also, I'm so sorry. Jesus Christ. Abscess is hurt, but I will watch a video of you popping it. I also love the wood paneling. I feel like I have a wood panel personality, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. Come to my window. Anyway, this is your future, and I love you. So there's that. You know, it popped on its own. Ugh. Did it taste gross? Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Well, we already watched Stone Cold do his cold dunk, so I'm not going to put you through that again. I do want to show this to Dawn, if she's still here. Okay. Saw this on Twitter. It's a pizza floating in the ocean, and it says sad Italian noises. So I thought that was fun. So there's that. Let's get that out of the way. We have a lot of important things to talk about, but these are the most important things. Okay. One more. All right. So this is, remember how I said I think Chad Hanks might be as funny as Shaq floating. Got a little backstory on why he was talking patois. Here you go.
I was hooking up with this chick. One day, she was on the phone with her family in Jamaica, and she was really in the middle of a heated conversation. Tell that pussy clot girl me know what. I really had no idea what the fuck she was saying. And her friend said, "Feel me kick me into the car with me so I can't chat." I'm like, wow. So wait, break that down. So then she started breaking down a lot of shit. I'm like, how do you say this? John no star. How do you say that? Oh, like 7. Oh. She was just telling me how to say different shit. So for like a week, like I was really on a Jamaican tip. And that just happened to be the week of the Golden Globes.
Me father Tom Hanks presenting in a what soon forward come. Big up, tune in.
I had Jamaicans blowing up my Instagram. Respect, General. We're going to come to the island. You know what I mean? The Jamaican people showed me the most love, hands down. I was hooking up with this.
I love him. I might love him more than Baby Brian. What a talent. What a real talent. What an absolute talented guy. Now you guys also know how I love showing you videos that make you uncomfortable. So, of course, I'm going to show you one of what it's like to take an edible. You're welcome. Eat the gummy. Hello, sassy big ups. Pampatua. How are you doing? Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. Just wanted to upset a few of you. Okay. Then I got one more. Where is it This one really pissed a couple of people off. Made a lot of you guys pretty uncomfortable. And I thought it was pretty funny. Also, a Vietnamlet is so funny. Like an omelet, but it's just like Vietnam happening. That's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, let me find it. Where is it? Where is it? I got you guys something here. We could just watch Jesse the Body Ventura talk mad shit to the president. But we already did that. Did I show you guys? Yeah, I showed you the two super cool dudes in the park sword fighting with each other already. I don't think I showed you the disrespected trucker yet, but we'll get to that one day. All right, here we go. Where is the super uncomfortable video at? OJ's watch. Getting there, we're getting there. We're getting close, you guys. We have Papa Uncle Mike. I mean, oh hell, maybe I didn't save it. You know what? Don't mind me. I'm just going to be here, not getting to the fucking point, while you stare at Janelle with feathers in her fucking hair. You know? I can't quit her. I really can't. That cat really did look a lot like, remember Winston the cat? He's great. The cat really did look like, Richard Belzer. It's killing me, dude. Well, you know what? I'm never going to find it. Resistance is futile. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're not going to be disrespecting no truckers today. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to watch this important thing. Okay, I got it. So remember how you guys thought it was really funny to talk about the wet stuff on the top of ketchup? And then quite a few of you sent me shit in emails about your feet, including pictures. And then you guys talked about feet in chat, and then you threatened me on Twitter with your feet. Okay, fair enough. I said to myself, they will rue the fucking day. Okay? I said, one of these days, I'm going to tell these kids we're going to Disney World. And then when they run to go get their fucking beach towels in their backpacks, I'm going to grab each one of them by the side of the dome and I'm going to put their heads through the fucking drywall. Emotionally, metaphorically speaking. And that's why this is happening. Yep.
La, 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 la.
I'm the king!
Wow.
你好 ，Jack。我改变主意了。我到这里来找你。
把手给我。闭上眼睛。快闭上！上来，抓住栏杆，闭上眼睛，别偷看。
我没偷看。
跨到栏杆上，抓住了，抓紧点儿，眼睛闭好了吗？相信我吗？
我相信你。
好了，睁开眼睛。
我飞了，这个。
来，伸出手，我拉你回来。
你夕阳西下，笨蛋！用天然的死亡吧，因为王国正要来临。无名，死亡之翼，天命之灭世者，万物的终结者，无可阻挡，无可违逆，无极大灾变。
这片土地的灾难还没结束，等我们彻底毁灭它之后，就献给伟大的 Sagaras。
法毫无意义，命运之轮已经开始旋转。
Fuck me. I was muted. So that's the thing that happens when you guys talk to me about feet. And I know you're pretending to like it because you think that's going to work. But I know that deep down inside you have hate in your heart. Okay? So, today, we're going to do what we don't, you know what? Reverse psychology is not going to work on me. Did you really like it? Fuck. Okay. Well, today we're going to analyze Grave Robbing for Morons, which we watched a little bit of last night, but we're going to watch the whole thing. For those of you who can't pay attention, hate to take notes, and are suffering from multiple bouts of CTE, I went ahead and took some notes for you. I want to let you know ahead of time some of these things so that maybe while you're watching, if you doze off into some sort of psychosis or wonderland in your brain, maybe you can think back. Do I know anyone by these names which are dropped in the video? Maybe something will hit you and you'll go, oh, I know a guy named Taco. Okay. So, first of all, what is this video? If you weren't here last night, it's a video called Grave Robbing for Morons. It seems to be what looks like a teenage boy from New York, maybe early 20s man. He is in a leather jacket. He's covered in dirt and soot, as you should be if you're from the South, but if you're from the North, very weird behavior. He's got cuts on him, and in some poorly executed camera work, a very shoddy picture comes up of an almost Richard Ramirez looking big-eared, bug-eyed boy. And he's got a ponytail, and you'll see him. He's got a very distinct way of talking because he has a very remarkably strong stutter at times. And he proceeds to give a seminar. Some people call it the first how-to video, the first YouTube tutorial. But this was 2 decades before YouTube, right? He proceeds to give a tutorial on how to grave rob. Now, a couple of things. He talks about selling what he robs from the graves. He talks about taking the skulls down to the magic store, where he proceeds to sell them to people, presumably for the purpose of magic, whatever that means. He talks about how it is his second time. So his second time, and he's a pro, and he's like, let me teach you now. He does describe and hold up a bone, a head bone specifically. Isn't that what Coffindoffer said? He broke his head bone. She holds up a skull, or he holds up a skull. Jennifer Coffindoffer remaking that would be insane. The guy holds up a skull. You're going to see, but it does look very real. It's very concerning. Now, this video came out more than likely 89, 90, based on some of the things in it. Like, for example, one of the videos that he has in the background, is it Evil Dead? Evil Dead 2. It's a video cassette that I believe came out in like 87 or 88. It's a movie that came out around then. And some of the things that he references are very New York centric. He has a New York accent. He talks about stealing from a Brooklyn cemetery. He makes a reference to wanting to eventually grave rob Houdini, the magician. So that's crazy. And to top that off, based on his age, based on, the quality of the video and some of the hints that are in it, context clues, we can presume that, this guy would be within a range of like 50 to 60 now, right? So what's remarkable about this video is that a lot of people, they don't really know where the cassette came from. Now, it did pop up on the early internet, but before that, people sold it and shared it at tape conventions, kind of like the cassettes, but the VHS tapes. There are so many people who swear up and down, like, I saw this in the early 90s. When the Pam and Tommy sex tape popped up, a lot of other videos soon started to trickle on the internet, and this was one of them, and it was definitely before the year 2000. Like, I know because I'd seen it before the year 2000. Now, around 2004, it got put on a compilation, kind of like Faces of Death type of shit. And what it was it was a compilation of scary VHS found footage. And a director or just a guy who makes compilation videotapes took his pics of the scariest, touched them up, and put them on a VHS. Now, because nobody wanted to claim this tape, he was able to legally do that, as were many other people. So it has been widely distributed over the years, but nobody claims ownership of it. Rumor had it in the olden days of the internet that this video actually came from a police evidence locker. And because the kid was a juvenile, apparently they couldn't name him. There are a lot of rumors. There is a lot of lore going around about this. So far, no definitive answer on who the kid is, but definitely a definitive, without a doubt, debunkings abound. There are a lot of theories. People have gone down rabbit holes. I have gone down rabbit holes. And this is a tough one. Not gonna lie, it's a tough one. I've taken steps recently, as of last week, to try and solidify one potential suspect, or whatever you would call it, one potential theory, by reaching out to someone who has been widely considered the guy in it for a long time. But I did notice that even though it pops up on Reddit, fucking 4chan, it used to come up on topics forums, web sleuths, it's on everything. Even though it pops up every year or two, somebody going through and trying to figure out who this kid is. I haven't seen anybody has seemed to have noticed one specific development that happened last year that's actually very interesting and very unexpected. But I do think, for a couple of reasons, that it's easily debunkable as this not being the kid. But it tricked me for a second. I was like, oh my God, that is the longest troll ever. You'll see what I mean. But first, let's go over a couple of things you're going to see in this video. You're going to hear this kid mention 4 names. Now, if you were in the New York area or grew up in the New York area in the late 80s, early 90s, maybe you knew some people who went by these names. Listen up. The names he mentions are Taco and Poochie, as being people who are in their gang. The guy self-identifies himself as Anthony Cass and then gets cut off. And he clearly looks at the camera guy like, oops. Shouldn't be saying that. And then he calls the camera guy Gino while smiling. So you're going to hear the names Taco, Poochie, Anthony Cass, and Gino. Now, Cass is obviously a partial of a last name. So a lot of people over the years have come up with different theories on who it could possibly be based on that. So I'm going to now show you the video, and we will pause it sparingly. And then at the end, we're going to go over some stuff. And I'm going to tell you who's been debunked, who hasn't been debunked, but are potentials, and get your take on it. Especially those of you who are from New York, you might recognize something in here. You might go, oh, I know that accent. That's Dawn Marie's accent. Oh, that's a Long Island accent. That's a Brooklyn. I don't know. In Texas, we have different versions of redneck and honky. Maybe you have different New Yorks. I know, what is it, Staten Island. You're flirting with my sister. They all kind of, well, that's Boston. They all kind of, to us, to me anyway, they sound the fucking same. But to you guys, there might be 30 different kinds. I don't know. Maybe there's like New York patois. I don't fucking know. Anyway, check this out.
On this big, or if it's a male, you might have lines like that from the baldness. Okay? Now, so what you do is you grab it around here. You grab it here and peel it back like that. Okay? Peel it back. All right? And it'll pull off. It'll make a disgusting sound. So let's say it's someone important, right? All right, so you take a sample of the mustache, right? Okay, so you to make sure that it's authentic, or you take the dentures and you make sure they're with them, so that way the person knows who this person is. All right, because sometimes you go and you risk your ass looking for somebody, all right, and somebody might be paying some serious money for it. So you have to make sure it's the real thing, okay, and you have to make sure it's the real thing. So you have to bring some kind of proof that it's the real thing. So you bring a piece of hair, preferably from the longest part, and so let's say they have a mustache. You bring that definitely, all right. This person had a mustache when they died. Then you bring it. It's usually around here, all right. Sometimes you might find it around the jaw. It might be left there. Okay. So when you bring out the jaw, so I'll show you later. I'm in the real coffin itself. It's very. It's hard to find. Okay, and it's very so you can lose it real fast. All right. So when you find it, okay, the jaw is usually like that. I'm around this shape. Okay, it's like that. Okay. So when the body decomposes, it's like long like that. Okay, it all rots out in a flat line, almost, so you can't see it. Okay, see the top usually has teeth, but the bottom is sometimes hard to find. Okay, because it's usually out like that. Now, when you first find it, you might have to do some fixtures, okay, and put a spring on the sides. So that way, it'll open up, all right, and shut for show. It's very okay, but after a while, you take some screws and everything. You make a hole here, and then
Okay, I want to pause for a second because I want to make some brief observations first. Again, we talked last night about, there's a lot of VHS shit. There's a lot of shit just all over the ground. We've got a stutter going on, pretty gnarly stutter, He's got cuts all over his hands. And he does talk later on about how that's him bleeding. I think that he would be between 15 and 23, personally, for a couple of reasons. Some of the references he makes. And I think at one point I had it in my notes. It's been a while since I focused on a certain part of the video, and it's been a while since I looked at the exact wording of it written down, but I believe he mentioned something about having not gone to school or something, or dropping out. That could have actually been that could have been another thing I'm going to show you a little bit later, but we'll get there. But I do think he's between like, 15 and early 20s. Another thing I want to note, big ass ears. Okay, very spread out. He does talk later about how, oh, that blood, that's not from the body, that's from me. So that's something that he talks about. Yes, Age of Nefarious, I'm back. He also has bones on the table. You might see some decor in the background that you recognize. If you recognize anything in particular from the year, make note of that and let me know in the comments. Now, the thing I want to also bring up is that he's got a situation with his left eye, but this could actually be mirrored. So it could be his right, because VHS tapes, when you convert them, sometimes it mirrors the image. So it could be flipped, in which case it would be the opposite side. Now, I'm going to presume he's your typical right-handed dude, but even then, not really something that we can say definitively, which would essentially mean that it would be his left eye that's a little bit up and inward towards his nose. Also, the year is around 1990. It would have had to be after 87 or 88 because of a specific VHS that he has and references. So it's more than likely 89, 90, 91. What I would like to do is see if anybody can recognize or find this specific leather jacket. Maybe in the vintage section on eBay. Very curious about that. But yeah, this is there's a lot to draw from this. It's about to get very information heavy, but we'll break it down a little more later. Let's keep going. Yeah, they did, but they were like for fancy people.
Jaw. You put the spring, and then it's fine. It's just like that. All right, it's open and closed. All right, so what you do, so when you first open them up, all right, do not grab it here. All right, don't grab it by the teeth like that. All right, you grab it by the eyes or the nose. You pull it out. Put your finger all the way in. There's nothing there that will hurt you at all. All right, you have to make.
No, I don't think his jacket will be. I'm not saying like we need to find his jacket. I'm just curious if we can get a specific date based on his jacket. Like if his jacket is from 1985, right? Then we know that this is around his time frame, but it looks a little bit newer. What if it came out in 1990? Then we know that this couldn't have been filmed in 1989 because it didn't come out till 1990. So I think it's a good way to narrow it down, but I don't know that much about leather fashions.
Sure of that. There's nothing that can hurt you. Do not be afraid. Pull it out like that. Do not pull it by the teeth, or else it'll break out like that, and you will have holes. So it's like a waste of time. Okay, so you grab it like that, pull it forward, or so you'll have the backbone.
Okay, interesting. So 86, and the VHS that he references or had is in 87. So this could be a 2-year-old jacket. So this could have been filmed, yeah, still the same. It could have been between like 87 and 91, I'd say.
Like this, all right? And you'll have ribs. Now the shirt.
Well, we know it couldn't have been 85 at all. It literally can't be before 87. It couldn't have been filmed because of the movie that's in the background and that he talks about.
Usually turns hard, all right? So you have to break off the shirt and you have to rip it back. Now, okay, so try and keep the real teeth in, right? The roots will pop out very, very, very easy. Okay, see, as you can see, the bone is very thin, so that's why these popped out very, very easily. I can almost pop them in, but I can't pop them in quite right. Why? Because the gum was about this far, so that's why you can't push them all the way in, because that's how far it went when they were alive. Okay, now see, as you can see, these are the nostrils. Okay, for this you're gonna have to take something, push it in, wrap around thin cloth or something, push it in so that we could get that real clean. On the inside, see on the inside, if you don't want to make a cut around here, so you have to take something real thin and push it around, make sure it's all clean. All right, see, so remember you have a very small hole. All right, so you make a cut around here, so you can make sure that the inside is all clean. But I mean, it won't look that nice afterwards. As a matter of fact, it won't look that good at all. Okay, so what you do is you try and make the best. Put your finger in there if you have to, and get it as clean as possible. All right, so
You know what's interesting? You guys are saying center reach. You want to hear something kind of crazy? Center reach is one of the places near Center Morches, right? Either way, that Bilodeau guy, Richard Bilodeau, the one who killed the girl at Hot Skates, who just recently got caught. So he lived in both of those places. Okay. Now here's what's weird. So it is, right? Okay. So this is kind of tripping me out. So one of the suspects, according to the internet, like this could be this guy, happens to be the one that I just wrote to in prison to ask him if he made this. His girlfriend, her last name is Bilodeau, and she seems to be related to Richard.
that way you don't have to make a cut, and you know it's much better. If you want to afterwards, you could set it down, put a black candle on the top, and let it bleed down. Let the candle wax fall, and it looks nice. Okay, so what you do, if you want, you can try diluted bleach on it. Okay, you dip it in there for a few seconds. All right, so wash it off. All right, then afterwards you dip it back in, wash it off. Make sure the bowl does not get that soft with water, or else after a while this will be very fragile, right? And if you say you topple it over, it will break on you. So what you do is try and dilute the.
Did you see how squishy that was? I think that's the corner of a bed. So that's a mattress. You can see okay, so that is a mattress. I wonder what mattress this is. Huh. Oh man, well, oddly, Hammerheads, also where a girl went missing. And then one of the suspects that a lot of people think, who also got busted for grave robbing in 1991, who people think could be this guy, the one in jail, his current girlfriend or wife, or what, his partner. She's related to the guy who killed someone at Hot Skates, it seems. And it's just weird that you guys are talking about Center Reach or Center Morches area, whatever, because it's just odd connection. I don't know. But yeah, I would say Hammerheads. Wasn't there a few others? You guys would know better than I. This is very interesting.
This will be very fragile, right? And if you say you topple it over, it will break on you. So what you do is try and dilute the bleach as much as possible. Do not paint it at all. Do not paint this at all, because it will ruin the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I think that's a mattress. Look at the size of that. And then look at the edge. That's a mattress. Huh. Hold on a second. That's interesting. Never thought about that before, but look at that. Let's get back here and see when he zooms in.
Possible. All right, so that way you don't have to make a cut, and you know it's much better. If you want to afterwards, you can set it down, put a black candle on the top, and let it bleed down. Let the candle wax fall, and it looks nice. Okay, so
Kind of looks like They Live, but I don't think it is. I think that's the I can never remember if it's like Walking Dead or Night of the Living Dead or something. Maybe I'm wrong. Or Evil Dead, I think. Hold on, let me look. I have it in my notes somewhere. It does look like They Live at first, though, but I think it's Evil Dead. Let me check.
let it bleed down. Let the candle wax fall, and it looks nice. Okay, so what you do, if you want, you can try diluted bleach on it, okay? You dip it in there for a few seconds, all right? So wash.
Yeah, it's Evil Dead 2. 1987 is when that came out. So this would have to be after that. Actually, Evil Dead 2 came out in 87. When did the VHS come out? Let me look.
It off, all right? Then afterwards you dip it back in, wash it off. Make sure the bowl does not get that soft with water, or else after a while this will be very fragile, right? And if you say you topple it over, it will break on you.
Yeah, it is a stage microphone. And he does have he's got a bunch of VHS all over the floor in the background, and they've got a tripod. And his friend is filming, and there's also a theory that goes towards that we're going to talk about. But yeah, good observation, Minnie. I do wonder if they were planning on him using that microphone for this and then just gave up, or if he's some sort of musician. I would imagine possibly some sort of musician, especially based on the way he's dressed, you know.
So what you do is try and dilute the bleach as much as possible. Do not paint it at all. Do not paint this at all, because it will ruin the whole thing, because it is hell to get the paint in here and get it right, because you want to see the cracks like this. There's a crack, so you want to see everything so that way it looks real. Okay, you want to see every little crack around the sides, right? You want to know that it's real, okay? So that way you know it's authentic and it looks nice like that. It looks much better when it's real, okay? If it's fake, you will know when it's fake, okay? See, around the nose, it's never perfect, right? Everybody has their own different thing around here. It's always somehow cracked in a way, okay? Around here, you will see cracks. If you don't see cracks around here, not cracks out, just cracks around here. See, after it's washed, then you know it's fake, okay? You should see some around here, cracks that can peel out like this, right? Like that. It's like flaky. That way you know it's real, okay? Around the sides, you will see every little detail on a real skull, but there is no way you can actually duplicate that in real life. There is no actual way you can really do it, all right? Because you have holes going in through here and going out to the back, okay? All this, so remember, this is all flesh-like, okay? See this like that? That's hair, right? That's hair left over. This is the hair afterwards. This person had very short hair, as you can see. It's like flaky. It flakes off real fast. This right here is my blood, so miss. All right, because they have no blood. All right, this is their blood. It's nothing. It's just brownish. It's ready to decay. Okay, this one is from a very long time ago. Okay, if you find something more new, you can expect more reddishness. Okay,
Let's go back a little bit, right? I'm going to slow it down real quick because it passes by something that looks like a poster. And I always forget to check that out.
Thing is just brownish.
Ugh, his nails are dirty.
It's ready to decay. Okay, this one is from a very long time ago. Okay, if you find something more new, you can expect.
What is that? Does that say? I see like HOR, KOR. Is that FX or what is that?
Time ago, okay. If you find something more new, you can expect.
Roar? Cork? What is that? Is that like a radio station? That's interesting. I have to pause and ruminate on that later.
More.
It looked like it said FX. Hold on.
More. time ago. Okay, if you find something more new, you can expect more.
If that says FX and we find a special effects company, and all these years it's just been total lore, I'm going to track them down and beat the shit out of them.
More.
We'll come back to that.
Redishness, okay? This one will end up a little brown, okay? Because it's very old. Okay, so after you wash it, so it'll be like brown and like beigeish, okay? But if you find something new, it will be reddish all around it. It'll be red. If you find something really old, okay, it will be brownish all around. So you leave it in your, on your roof or something, okay? But all right, it's like in the summertime or something when there's a lot of sun, it's real hot, and at the wall, this will get all white. It look beautiful. You can put it anywhere. So you put it on the wall, find a way to fix this on, it'll look great. And if you also get the leg bones, it'll look even better like this. With both of them on it, like that. It'll look beautiful. So what you do? Okay, some of them you might find some more metal on it than others. All right, so what you're gonna have to do is actually reach in and get these out. All right, see this part? It's on the inside. See.
Yeah, I do think it definitely said FX. The problem is, though, the guy who's filming it, you know what I mean? He's filming it. He's clearly got a thing for film. So I can totally see that. But yeah, no, I agree that they do buy real shit because my old boss at a costume shop bought a human skeleton once by accident. So, and she bought it from Tom Savini at an auction or something. And it was actually used in one of those movies, Evil Dead or fucking whatever. What if this is it? What if this is the one Marilyn bought? It's fucking crazy.
See, this part on the inside and everything, it's always glass, right? But for the
Yeah, I do think it's a jam space, but I think it's a garage. Because there's quite a few people who have analyzed it over the years who are from specific areas that everybody thinks it's from, which is kind of what Darlene and them were talking about, Center Morches, and somebody else said, like, I think they said Red Hook, and then somewhere in Brooklyn, and then Whitestone, and they were talking about how, like, there's all these houses in specific areas that are, like, really slanted and have, like, basements, garages, shit like that. But yeah, apparently, like, some of the equipment, people were arguing in quite a few different forums over what this equipment is, because some people were saying that it's to plug instruments into, basically. Like, you know, one guy was arguing that it's like an old school Marshall, and someone was like, no, it is not. That's absolutely not. But then other people were saying, like, no, this is just for fucking cassettes and shit. So yeah, it does look like band equipment. It does look like he has some records in the background. There's quite a bit. It's very interesting though. Yeah, it could absolutely be. And he could be using blood to make the video creepier and actually have a human skull, but not think it looks scary enough, you know? But he could also, this could all be bullshit. But that's the thing, is nobody knows. It's fucking wild though. The way he's talking about it, it's like I don't know, it doesn't seem scripted at all. If he's just riffing on this shit, wild.
legs and everything, you always find it's metal. Sometimes you will find it's glass. But a lot of times you'll find it's metal. All right, so what you first have to do, all right, so this is cloth. You have to peel back the cloth, which is very hard. As you can see, this is very hard to rip. All right, so say this was hard. All right, it would be very hard. You have to find a knife, and you have to make a slice. Okay, you peel it back like that. Okay, and you will find the ends of the bones. You will not see the rest of it, or you will only see this part. right? You only see the ball of the bone, right? So you grab the ball, you drag it forward, it'll pop out like nothing, and that's you have that. All right. If you want fingers, do not move anything. Don't move nothing at all, or else you will not find them. All right, because once you've mixed up all the bones, you won't see which ones are fingers or which ones are toes. It's very hard. So what you do is, before you even move this part, all right, you find the hands, all right, you take out the fingers, because those are small. They're very small. They're in parts. All right, if you rip off this part, you will leave the rest, and this part, and this part, and this part. All right, so if you want this part, all right, you have to take that out first, right, because it will break off like nothing. It was very, very easy to break off. All right, the flesh is exactly as I've explained, like this, like nothing, flaky. It's nothing. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's that old. This one is very old, so it's nice. So look for dates that are over 60 years old. If you find something over 60 years old, this is what you will get, or maybe even a bit better. Now, if you find something over 60 years old, you are in good luck. All right, see, it's that way you don't have to wash off much. You wet it and the rest will fall off. And it's very, very, very easy. Now, if you find something more new, so you have to rub it and rub it and rub it, or you gotta wash off all the blood and everything, because it's a bit more new. This one has almost no brains. Let me see. There's a piece of the brains. Let's see. There's another piece of brains. If I had something wet here, I would wet them up and let you see how the brains look afterwards. Okay. If you find something more new, you might find it in a chunk. Right? If you shake it, it won't sound crisp like this. All right, sounds very crisp. Now, some of them might sound a little more fleshy-like. All right, it won't be fleshy, but it'll be soft. All right, and once you wet them, they're gonna turn into brains, and they're gonna be very soft. So you have to watch out for the drain in your sink, because it might get caught in there. All right, so what you do is you shake it out in the toilet, or you shake it out in a bucket, because it will get caught. It's best if you wash it in a bucket. It's that way afterwards you can see what's solid and everything. You can put everything in the toilet, and that way nothing will get caught. Make sure there's no witnesses when you leave. Always bring a bag. If you leave witnesses, sometimes you might like doing these things and everything. After a while, somebody might see them and say, that was him. Never let anybody point you out, right? Because if you get pointed out, it's very easy, all right? So let's say you robbed around 5 graves, all right? All right, for the first one, you might get caught, all right? But if there's witnesses for the rest of them, you will get caught too. Why? Because they're going to blame you for it, all right? Because they caught you for this one, that means you most likely did the rest of them, and the judge will say it was you. Never leave witnesses. If you have to knock them out so that way they think it's a dream. It's best not to kill, but if it's necessary, do it. But
that part right there is the part that I was like, okay, this is definitely a kid being fucking full of shit, Because keep in mind, he also says eventually that this is only his second time doing it. He might have already said it, actually. But notice how he looks at the cameraman a lot. He does spend a lot of time looking at the cameraman.
It's not to kill, but if it's necessary, do it. But it's just best to always have a nice dark bag.
Interesting. Evil Dead 2, 1987. You know what? I'm going to look up Evil Dead 2 VC or VHS release. I wonder if there was a Shock Effects logo on any of the swag that was given out, or any of the limited editions, because they used to do shit for the Rocky Horror Picture Show. you could get the VHS, or you could get the one that has like a whole kit with it, and it had like we have it at my dad's house. It's got like a really cool pamphlet where you can it gives you the script for when you're yelling back. But yeah, that it did look like it said shock effects. That makes sense. Yeah, there was Fuzzy Lou. This one I think is it though. I think shock effects is it. Especially if they worked with Evil Dead 2. That makes sense. So I wonder if it was like a bag or something that the VHS came in. But that's interesting. We're going to look into that more. It's not a girl, it's a guy. You will see him later, briefly.
Not plastic white like this, white, because you can see through it, right? You can see shapes. Use
He also calls the camera guy Gino when he does it. And then he references their friends, their homeboys in their gang, Taco and Poochie.
paper bags or a book bag that's leather or something like that, so you can't see the shape. So when you finally find the place, make sure it's
yeah, it came out in theaters in 86, but the VHS I believe came out in 87. So this is making sense now.
So cure and everything. Make sure you always bring more than one.
Also, he does discuss it later. It's not really it's not a satanic thing here, Darlene. He's doing it because he sells the skulls to a place he calls the magic shop or the magic store, which everybody kind of agrees is there are places apparently that like voodoo stores and Santeria places. Oddly, one guy who got busted, who we're going to talk about, got busted specifically doing that. And that's another reason why people think that this is the guy. But I'll show you that in a little bit when we're done.
Make sure one person is outside, make a test first, see how much noise protrudes outside. Okay?
Yeah, it absolutely cannot be 85. Because the movie that is behind him did not come out until 87, the VHS. So it has to be after 87 or 87 itself. But yeah, so that's one thing. But yeah, it seems that they're doing this for profit to sell the skulls.
Okay, you have to set somebody on each side. So make at least 4 sides to make a lot of noise. All right, so the person's on one side. You count out how much noise there is. You do that on each side around, right? And that's be roads nearby. See how far that noise will reach. If it's windy, the noise will carry, right? The noise will go far, okay? It will go much more farther if it's windy. Okay, if it's raining, the rain will help you a lot. If it's snowy, the snow will leave footprints. If it's summertime and there's no rain, then that's, I think, the perfect time, except for one thing, the guards might be a bit active at that time. So what you do it is in around July when it's a little cold, you wear some nice warm gloves. The guards won't be as active and everything's going to be cold, exactly like you are. So that way they're not going to be active. So still gonna ride around, but not listen that much. So what you do is around, when it's a little cold and it's not raining or snowy outside, you do it. In the summertime, you can take the risk, but they're a bit more active, so it's risky. Okay, so what you do? So you go to like a magic shop where they like skulls and everything for rituals. Okay, so I think you could get around $250 for one of these. If you get a leg bone and it's carved into a necklace or something, you might get around $650 for it. It's really worth it because a lot of people will do this, and and this is worth a lot of money, because it's real, right? This is authentic. So like a lot of people will pay some serious money for it. what you do is you sell it. Do not put your real name or anything. So while you're in the shop or even in the neighborhood, do not say your real name or anything. Or if you have friends with you, ask them to switch your name or something like that. Try not to leave that many clues around, like videotapes, like exactly what we're making now. Don't make that many of them. All right, don't make tapes. Do not make records, because if you are caught, if they find those in your house, you will get caught badly. All right, this video is that way you will learn if you're a beginner to this thing. It's fun and everything. You can do it for fun only, just to see what you end up in there with and everything, because every one of them looks different. If you want, you can find something about 5 years old and you'll find something real good. It's gonna smell like crazy. I think it will. I really think it will. It will be a little fleshy, but I think that's the good part, because if you ask me, all right, your first one's gonna be very exciting, but your second one's gonna be a little boring. This is my second one. This is a little boring, you know. I find no fear in holding it, tossing around, you know. Really, and everything uses a baton. You know, it don't matter to me anymore. If you find something fleshy, that bugs you out seriously, because it really catches you. It smells. It's hard, but in a way, it's weird and everything. You can see what the person looked like when they first died, right? They're gonna be a little decomposed. So all right. So you look for something about 1 year old at the most. If you want, you can look for a freshly dug grave. Look for a freshly dug grave. It'll be a little hard to find, because so let's say in a mausoleum, right? 5-year-old tombs look exactly the same as 1-year-old or 3-month-olds. Okay, but if you're outside,
yo, check it out. If they get something new, you have to bring some kind of tool, man, because to get the head off, like, this is so old that you can just pull the head off. Something with skin on it still, man. You have to rip that shit apart. You have to fucking get
bring
a hatchet or something.
Yeah, if you want to and everything, you could bring a knife. Most likely, all right. If you want, you could grab it exactly like I said, by the eyes. Okay, there's gonna be eyeballs still. That's why you wear gloves. Don't think of it as a prop, as if it was from a monster movie, just something fake. All right, the eyeball sockets don't fit that well, okay, but when it's old, you can really push them in. Put your fingers, lock them around like that, pull the head back like that, okay? Pull it back like that. It should loosen up from the spinal cord, so that way you don't mess up this part and everything, ripping it off, okay? Pull it back, okay? And afterwards, you can bring a knife, cut open the neck, and just rip off the rest. Just grab it like that from the jaw and rip off the rest, and it should pop out if it's new. It's going to smell. It might feel a little moldy. Don't think about it. Think of it as a prop. If you want, you can look for something underground. Underground, you should bring at least six people with you. Bring around three to dig for you and everything. So you dig and your friend digs, and then it's another friend digs. You have to find some place really secluded, so that way there's no interruptions. Okay, so you each take turns. First one digs, then the other digs, and the other digs. All right, you keep going in a circle. All right, the rest of the three have to be lookouts, because if it's outside, you're out in open ground, it's dangerous. So you have to make sure you do not get caught. If you get caught, this is a serious offense. And I know it. I don't know why I did this. It's fun. I like it. So what you do is you bring guards. Guards are a major necessity. If you have walkie-talkies, even better. Just make sure you keep switching channels every 10 minutes. You should switch to another channel at random. Okay. All right. So right before you go, say you're on channel 12, right? All right. So make the next one 22. All All right, so then you hop to 15. All right, then you go to 14. You know, just do it at random. Do not make it and so make it in no mortar whatsoever. Okay, if you want, you could really set them off by putting down clues to it that wouldn't be there out of the ordinary. If you want, you can actually go out of the way. You can bring the old shoes, right? That you have and everything. See, I'm sure you have some old shoes, so you can wear them, right? So you wear those backwards, all right? You walk, right? You backtrack a long while, all right? Then you walk forward, everything with those shoes normal, all right? You go all the way back to the grave, right? Then you walk off in some other direction, right? So that's gonna set them off majorly. All right, so you have to think. So you have to make new clues to these things, all right? Because they're not just sitting there waiting for you. Then you have to make new ones up so we can set everybody off track. It's like you rob somebody important's grave, okay? So everybody's gonna be looking for you. So you have to set them off the track totally. Make sure they are off the track. Don't drink like I've been drinking when you rob graves, because you can't run as fast, and your instincts aren't just that well tuned when you're drinking, because you get drunk and you just low. Right. So other than that, it's virtually easy. It's a nice business if you find the right people to buy. All right. See, it's like your first four or five graves. They're gonna be fun. But after a while, you're gonna be like, I want money for this. And so you find somebody who's like, who wants this person. All right. So it's like if you want a Melvis or something, you get at least $1 million for it. All right. You want Marilyn Monroe, at least get $1 million for it. You get high prices. The more famous they are, get the most high prices. All right. So if that person really wants it, they will get that money. Or else otherwise, it's not worth it. And always ask for money up front. Ask for at least half. So not half. Ask for like 25% up front, all right? Because you're risking your ass. I'm actually walking up there. I'm up front robbing it. Because suppose you get caught and everything while you're robbing.
All right, guys, I want to go back a little bit to right when he's putting the skull down. Hold on, right before that. Just for those who missed it.
Eruptions, okay? So you each take turns. First one digs, so then the other digs, and the other digs. All right, you keep going in a circle. All right, the rest of the three have to be lookouts, because if it's outside, you're out in open ground. It's dangerous. So you have to make sure you do not get caught. If you get caught, this is a serious offense. And I know it. I don't know why I did this. It's fun. I like it. So what you do is you bring guards. Guards are a major necessity. If you have walkie-talkies, even better. Just make sure you keep switching channels every 10 minutes. You should switch to another channel at random. Okay, all right. So right before you go, say you're on channel 12, right? All right, so make one 20. All right, so then you hop to 15. All right, then you go to 14. Just do it at random. Do not make it and so make it in no mortar whatsoever. Okay. If you want, you could really set them off by putting down clues to it that wouldn't be there out of the ordinary. If you want, you can actually go out of the way. You can bring the old shoes, right? That you have and everything. See, I'm sure you have some old shoes, so you can wear them, right? So you wear those backwards, all right? You walk, right? You backtrack a long while, all right? Then you walk forward, everything with those shoes normal, all right? You go all the way back to the grave, right? Then you walk off in direction, right? So that's when you set them off majorly, right? So you have to think, so you have to make new clues to these things, all right? Because they're not just sitting there waiting for you. You have to make new ones up so we can set everybody off track. It's like you rob somebody important's grave, okay? So everybody's gonna be looking for you. So you have to set them off the track totally. Make sure they are off the track. Don't drink like I've been drinking when you rob graves, because you can't run as fast, and your instincts aren't just that well tuned when you're drinking, because you get drunk and you're just a little low. All right. So other than that, it's virtually easy. It's a nice business if you find the right people to buy. All right. See, it's like your first four or five graves, they're gonna be fun, but after a while you're gonna be like, I want money for this. And so you find somebody who's like, who wants this person. All right. So it's like if you want Elvis or something, you get at least $1 million for it. All right. You want Marilyn Monroe, at least get $1 million for it. You get high prices. The more famous they are, get the most high prices. All right. So if that person really wants it, they will get that money. Or else otherwise it's not worth it. And always ask for money up front. Ask for at least half. So not half, ask for like 25% up front, all right? Because you're risking your ass. I'm actually walking up there. I'm up front robbing it. Because suppose you get caught and everything while you're robbing the grave. You should at least waste some of the money and everything so you have fun before you get caught. Because I don't think you want to go to jail. And everything, well, I've been wasting none of the money and everything. You want to have fun before you do it. The night before you do it, you should get laid. You should get laid because that exercises certain muscles, and as a matter of fact, you do have a lot more energy. Because I don't know why, it seems to exercise a lot of the muscles that you have, and the next day you somehow do have a lot of energy and everything. And there's a lot of things you might have to do while you're getting this out.
No, he definitely has a speech impediment, and he is speaking like that. He's got a pretty severe stutter. Just a heads up.
I think it takes a lot of exercise. You have to push a lot and everything. You might have to run a lot if you get caught. And I don't know. So that's about it for now. The next time we'll show you the coffin itself and the way we opened it and the way it was done. Okay, this was made by Anthony. Because well, as a matter of fact, let's forget the last name. It's Anthony and Gino. Okay, this is made by us too.
Okay, let's just go back a little bit there and see Gino again.
Okay.
So that's Gino. As you can see, there's a brick wall or rock wall with the beams coming through. There was a guitar case. Yes. There was a guitar case. They seem to be a bit punk rock, if you will. But there's nothing punk rock about stealing bones. Now, I do think that when the camera pans, like, it's interesting because VHS tapes used to have these weird, like, color lines. And I could never tell because see how it moves every time? I could never tell if that was, like, a color on the wall for a while, but this is, like, a pretty bright, clean version. So you can see that it's just an issue with the tape.
All the way back to the grave. Right then you walk off in some other direction. Right? So that's when you set them off majorly. Right? So you have to think. So you have to make new clues to these things. All right? Because they're not.
Gino does look like Jim Leahy. This is his cheeseburger Randy.
Just sitting there waiting for you, and you have to make new ones up so we can set everybody off track. It's like you it's like you rob somebody important's grave, okay? So everybody's gonna be looking for you. So you have to set them off the track totally. Make sure they are off the track. Don't drink like I've been drinking when you rob graves, because you can't run as fast, and your instincts aren't just, that well tuned when you're drinking, because you get drunk and you're just a little low. All right. So other than that, it's virtually easy. It's a nice business if you find the right people to buy. All right. See, it's like your first four or five graves, they're gonna be fun. But after a while, you're gonna be like, I want money for this. And so you find somebody who's like, who wants this person. All right. So like, it's like if you want Melvis or something, you get at least $1 million for it. All right.
So one more thing to notice is his front left tooth is protruding out, and he does have a gap. Also pay very close attention to the size of his ears. He does have a crooked nose. Just some things to note. And the eye that is right, let me see if I can get this stuff right there, seems to be it clocks upward a little bit in towards his nose. That is dirt, not a scar, and he does have blood on him, and he says that it's his own. So just some things to note.
If you want Marilyn Monroe, at least get $1 million for it. You get.
Also, people have argued about his age, like, well, how could he drink if he was, if he wasn't 21 yet? People fucking drink before they're 21, guys. Come on.
High prices. The more famous they are, get the most high prices. All right. So if that person really wants it, they will get that money. Or else otherwise, it's not worth it. And always ask for money up front. Ask for at least half. So not half. Ask for like 25% up front, all right? Because you're risking your ass. I'm actually walking up there. I'm up front robbing it. Because suppose you get caught and everything while you're robbing the grave. You should at least waste some of the money and everything so you have fun before you get caught. Because I don't think you want to go to jail. Everything without having wasting none of the money and everything. You want to have fun before you do it. The night before you do it, you should get laid. You should get laid because that exercises certain muscles, and as a matter of fact, you do have a lot more energy. Because I don't know why, it seems to exercise a lot of the muscles that you have, and the next day you somehow do have a lot of energy and everything. And there's a lot of things you might have to do while you're getting this out. And things, it takes a lot of exercise. You have to push a lot and everything. You might have to run a lot if you get caught. And I don't know. So that's about it for now. The next time we'll show you the coffin itself and the way we opened it and the way it was done. Okay, this was made by Anthony. As a matter of fact, let's forget the last name. It's Anthony and Gino. Okay, this is made by us too. We worked hard. Also, Bucci and Taco also helped it at the very beginning. Me and
now right here, a lot of people argue about this. People have said Poochie. Now I think he's saying Bucci with a B. What do you think?
We worked hard. Also, Bucci and.
So when he first says it, it sounds like Bucci with a B, and then when he repeats it, it sounds like it has a P. Now here is where he's name dropping who helped him get this alleged coffin.
Taco also helped it at the very beginning.
So some people say that's Taco. I was thinking maybe Doc O.
And Taco also helped it at the very beginning. Me and Gino first opened it up though. All right, we opened it up. We broke it open, but the other guys helped out a lot. I like to put them in this, but they're not here because they really because they really helped and everything. Because we're the forefathers, me, Daco, and Bucci and everything. We're the first ones who opened up.
See, I think it's me, Daco, and Bucci. But some people hear Poochie. Okay, you guys, that seems to be the consensus.
Everything. We made this trend from now on. This is a trend. We will keep doing it for the fun. And soon, and our next big hit is Houdini. If you're watching this video, then you'll know who it was. Bye-bye.
Okay, so then he threatens to take Harry Houdini's shit, aka his bones. Okay? So that was kind of heavy. Let's go ahead. Let me pull that down, pop myself back up. Hello. Now we're going to go into the possibilities, the lore. Okay? So we've already talked about the names. Let me pull up for you some of the cool shit. So I do have a still of him, just in case we need to look at that for reference. Okay. So there's the part where he says this was made by Anthony Cuss. The way he says it, he doesn't say Cass. Okay. He says Cuss and then he pauses. I was trying to think what last names begin with Cuss, because it sounds like it could be CAS for sure, but it could be Cassius, right? It could be a couple of other different last names that begin with C, where the enunciation sounds like that. So it's just something to think about. Let's go ahead. Let me pull this up. Okay. I'm going to read to you guys a post from someone named Cyber Insane. Okay. Well, excerpts from a post from a person named Cyber Insane. And there's another person who, and they were on Reddit, by the way. And they've also, a couple of these people have posted on YouTube. They've made it known that they're looking into this hard. All right. And back in the day when I was looking into it, I would see these posters that really did a very thorough job of not only looking into this, debunking, but backing up their sources. Now, another Reddit user, there's a couple of them, Mixed Minds is one of them. I believe one of them is C Pager. And I don't know if it's he or she, who these people really are, but they've done extensive looking into it. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to go through some of their work and see what seems the most reasonable, see what the consensus is, compare it to stuff from the past that I had saved from. Topics was one of them. Data Lounge was another, a really, really old Reddit post. And let's see what's been ruled out. Let's see if anyone's recognized these people. So I want to give shout outs to C Pager, Cyber Insane, and anybody else I will put a link to below. So a couple of things. This person is a pretty good analysis where they talk about the names and what they think they are. They're the ones who think that it's Taco and Poochie, and a lot of people came in with their thoughts. All right. Some observations that I would agree with and I'll add to is Anthony, Cass, and Gino have a New York accent. Anthony stutters sometimes. Anthony states in the video that he's robbed 2 graves. Okay. He confirms that he sells these skulls and they pay him too much for them at a magic shop. He also talks about people who are into that stuff, who do rituals. Back then, all the research that I did and that other people have done seem to find the same thing, which is that at that time, New York had a pretty big voodoo and Santeria underground scene, and there were these shops that were referred to as magic shops, mystic shops, voodoo shops, Santeria shops. They were typically hidden. They were typically in low-income communities, and some of them were hidden in churches and bodegas. So some of the places where they were located were pretty hard to find. There's quite a few Vice documentaries on modern churches that have been around for 30 to 40 years, but there's no way to confirm that he went to these. Now, what I did find out is there was one person who is considered the internet's one of their top suspects, right? This person tried to sell skulls to people like this. I've done a FOIA request for those records and I'm waiting on them. Okay. Let's continue. The Evil Dead VHS cassette that he has came out in 1987. So this video is not filmed before 1987. Impossible. He says he will record more videos. One is going to teach people how to open and steal a tomb. Another one that he promises to steal Houdini's corpse. And that leads us to believe he's talking about the famous Harry Houdini. One of the reasons that people believe that, I believe, is because of where he is buried, which I think is somewhere in New York. I need to go double check on that, but I don't know exactly. Well, obviously it's somewhere in New York, but I don't know where. The aesthetics and the clothing look very much like the 80s and 90s. We know that. The skull looks very real, according to a lot of people who work with skulls. There have been medical examiners, people who work with dead bodies, people who work at mausoleums, people who work at embalming bodies who have all said the same thing. There have been bone experts that are like, yeah, it definitely looks like a real skull, which lends credence to it being possibly real. So the okay, let's go first with number one suspect, according to the three most active online researchers, seems to be this guy named Matthias. Okay, Matthias Frias, and I'm going to tell you why. He was a 21-year-old homeless man who in 1991 was accused of stealing 5 skulls in Brooklyn's Cypress Hill Cemetery. He sold them possibly at a magic store, which is referenced in the video. Now, I think they're being a bit loose with them. All of them seem to repost magic store for that part. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. I'm going to read you the article. I can see why they would jump to that conclusion, but the article does not specifically say magic store. You'll see what I mean in a minute. The author appears to tell, oops, sorry. Wait, where is it? Yeah. The author of the article, they're writing out of the Los Angeles Times, and it was published in 91, and it's referencing a news story. Okay, so this is why people think it could be this Matthias fellow. So this is from June 19th, 1991. A homeless man was charged with stealing at least 5 skulls from Brooklyn's Cypress Hill Cemetery and selling them, police said. Matthias Frias, 21, was charged Wednesday. An officer said at least one skull was meant for a woman who practices Santeria, which combines ancient African beliefs and Catholicism. But New York Newsday said they probably were taken for a cult to which Frias belongs. So he's 21 when this is written. It's 1991. That age lines up pretty good with this video, because this video, it's about that age range. This is a kid who's clearly between 15, 16 and his early 20s. With that said, the skulls were from bodies that had been interred in mausoleums more than 100 years ago and were stolen during sporadic grave robberies beginning in June. Here's what's interesting. He talks about how you should wear gloves and shit if it's cold, and that it makes it easier, which tells you that he probably did this when it was cold, but he says he's only done it twice. So if he did it once when it was cold, and then he did it once a long time ago, maybe a long time for him, because he does say a long time ago, could mean months, which June, a summer grave robbing, that could kind of line up. So there's that. Okay. In the video, he talks about selling them to a magic shop. In this article from around that time, this homeless kid who was 21 okay, was trying to sell skulls to a lady who does Santeria. Very, very interesting. Yeah, he did say first 4 or 5 times is fun. That is true. I do wonder if when he said twice, he meant the skulls. But it's also crazy because he said he got the whole coffin. So that kind of, I would need to see what this mausoleum specifically looked like that they stole from. Okay, so Brooklyn's Cypress Hill Cemetery is located in New York City. Another important point is that people like to consider, another guy. And this is the second suspect. His name is Anthony, as the author of the video. Now, this person posits that if we analyze the photos, he doesn't look anything like the author of the video well, but he can still be a part of the group that the boy from the video was talking about. Now, we're going to go down to who that guy is in a minute. But first, let's take a look at Matthias Frias, okay? I'm not going to show you his personal Facebook because it does have other people connected to it, and that's not fair to them. But I am going to show you what he looks like now. I'm going to show you some side-by-sides. Give me just 1 second. Now, Matthias was recently, in 2019, put in jail for domestic battery. I'm presuming it was against the woman who is complaining a lot about him and seemed to be his girlfriend, who has the same last name as Richard Bilodeau, the guy who killed a girl from hot skates in the mid-'80s in the area. And by in the area, I mean he's from Central Morges, which is where a lot of people, even you guys, presume, this could be. So that would be Long Island, right? Okay. So let me show you. So first of all, there was a theft of a Cypress Hill corpse by Matthias Frias. He was convicted of stealing a skull. Let me pull this article up so I can show you this. Okay. So here we go. Following the recent discovery of a desecrated family mausoleum in Cypress Hill Cemetery, which borders Glendale, Woodhaven, and Brooklyn, Barbara Davis, the family member who first became aware of the grisly site, now feels that she may be connected to a black magic cult that has skulls stolen from the same cemetery in 1991. Davis, a Florida resident, spoke with the Chronicle after she found the coffin and body of her great-aunt Amelia Dutton, who died in 1938, had been removed from the family mausoleum in the cemetery. Now, this answers the question, a whole coffin? So not only does Matthias Frias fit the situation, trying to sell the skull to someone involved in freaky shit, okay? Some sort of religious or magic shit. He's around that age. It's around that time. Okay. And it just so happens that this VHS comes out around the same time. It's just odd coincidence. But right here we see that this woman says the body of her great aunt, who died in 1938. So died in 1938. He said that skull was very old, didn't he? Had been removed from the family mausoleum in the cemetery. So the coffin and the body were removed. Do you see what I mean? That's a major coincidence. She also found that the head from her Aunt Asa Dutton's body, who died in 1909, had been removed. So that would make 2, wouldn't it? There were 4 bodies in the mausoleum, but Davis was only able to check on 3. We couldn't open the 4th coffin. It looked like it had been tampered with. I'm going back with the police later this month, she said. Davis now feels the thefts may be related to the International Polo Mayombe cult which uses skulls to conjure evil spirits and bring devastation on its enemies. Sounds like you guys. Davis bases her theories on the thefts that have occurred in the past. In 1991, Matthias Frias was convicted of stealing a skull from the bus mausoleum crypt at Cypress Hill Cemetery. He was also arrested for the theft of 4 skulls from another cemetery in Brooklyn. So in this case, that would be 4 skulls. So that's more skulls on top of that. So it's interesting because 2, 4. Actually, you know what? This one was later. This is the one from 2000. I am so dingus. So this would have been even more, which kind of makes sense. And you know what's weird is he did share this one on his Facebook page. So that would be, but they were reflecting on it. Yeah, the same cemetery in 1991. Okay. The timeline's a little wonky. Interesting. So it'd be 4 skulls from another cemetery in Brooklyn. Okay. 1 skull in 1991 from the Bus Museum, and then the 2, potentially, if it is him. Frias was charged with burglary and the 3rd-degree criminal mischief in the... Frias admitted to stealing the skulls and washing them in his mother's backyard in Woodhaven before selling them. Where's Woodhaven? So if his mother lived in Woodhaven, we can simply look up his mother's address back then. And then we can see if that house is on the market, if any of the rooms match. Wish I would have thought of that earlier. Okay, before selling them. Frias was charged with burglary in the 3rd degree, criminal mischief in the 2nd degree, petite larceny, body stealing, and opening graves. Before his arrest, stolen human skulls were found in areas of Forest Park, believed by officials to have been used by members of the Palo Mayombe cult. The skulls were found near small fires, trinkets, and bones. At that time, experts investigating the incident said there are thousands of cult followers in the New York City area. The members, they say, are not violent. During the ritual, the priest, who is called the palero, creates a steaming black kettle, fills it with blood and human arm and leg bones. The other members fill it with other objects. The most important part of the ritual is the skull, which is used to create a potion that is believed to give its members power. Cool. Our cult is not going to do that. They go on to say drug dealers buy them so they can't get shot. Davis questioned how her aunt's coffin could have been removed when it was solid mahogany with a metal liner. The theft, she believes, may have occurred in 1994 when the mausoleum was vandalized. Interesting, because that puts us back in that time frame. So there were 6 break-ins on the hill at the time. She said only 1 was reported. That was the Sluter family mausoleum, which was vandalized June 24th, 94. So now I would even extend it. Could be between 87 and 94. Maybe he was more active and he made that video before he did all the others. After the break-ins were discovered in 1994, the cemetery sealed the Dunn Museum, and Davis fought a 5-year battle to have it reopened. Davis said that wasn't the only fight she had with the cemetery's management. I wanted to replace my father's tombstone and also my great-grandparents' tombstone. It took 2 years because they wouldn't recognize that I was part of the family. Jesus. Last fall, the cemetery finally unsealed the mausoleum and fixed the doors. Before the doors were reinstalled, the mausoleum was open for a 3-week period, also leaving it vulnerable to vandalism. The police are still investigating. They still have not named him specifically as the creator of the video, but it is interesting. So that's a little more on Matthias Frias. Now, he also sliced off a guy's ear over an unpaid debt in Santa Monica in 2012. So he did cut off a guy's ear. There was that. Okay. Then in 2019 in Burlington, Vermont, he ran from the cops, attacked some people, attacked his girlfriend, and ended up in prison. So that is a lot, right? Like, that's a lot. Now let's take a look at this guy. Okay. I am going to show you. Let me pull up. Also, it seems that he claims on his Facebook to have graduated high school at St. Martin de Porres Academy in 1979, which would have put him in his late 20s. However, his age actually lines up more with the video. Now, again, his girlfriend also seems to be related to the guy who killed those girls at killed that girl at Hot Skates. So that's pretty terrifying. So now let me pop up a picture of him so that you can see it. And I want to get one where she's not in it. Now he grew up in Brooklyn, it seems, and then he moved to Vermont eventually. And this is what he looks like now. Let me pull it up. I'm not going to show you anything else on his private Facebook, though, but I do want you to see a picture of him. Okay, so this is him. I personally do not think it looks very much like the guy, especially when you see some things I'll show you in a minute. Again, much, much older, kind of hard to tell, but I think there's a lot of facial features here that are very different. So now let me show you in my notes what I've come up with. I did some copy pasterinos for you. Okay. Let me make this nice and big because I really want you to see it. Okay. So that's his ear on the left, and that's the kid's ear on the right. Now I've tried looking at it at all different angles, totally different ears. Teeth. This kid's got a huge gap, tooth pushed out, teeth have an inward pushed up V here. Also, the major one, thank you for saying it, Kate. This is a black man. He looks like Gus Fring. Oh my God, the timing. He looks like Gus Fring. Now, here's the problem. The kid who was around the same age, who was busted for stealing skulls, who was selling them to creepy people doing rituals, Matthias, is this black man. So it doesn't seem like he could be the kid, even though there are a ton of references. Now, other people have said, wait, we can't debunk him yet. Why? Well, for one big reason, because he could have been one of the other people, which would make sense, because why would he accidentally say Anthony Cuz and then cut himself off? It makes no sense. Now, I do think the relation to a relative of Bilodeau is also very strange, in addition to many other things. He seems to be everyone's leading candidate, but for me, it's a no dog. Okay, next. So, Anthony Casamasima. So, Anthony Casamasima became very popular on Reddit. One user started a thread, which I cross-posted in our subreddit so that anybody who wants can go check it out. Okay? Yeah, well, so that's another problem. Cameraman is a white guy, so also not him. But it could be Taco or Bucci. But we'll get to that in a second. So a lot of people, the second most popular, which is in that thread, is this man, Anthony Casamasima. Okay? Now, everybody seems to think he looks nothing like the guy in this picture. But I look at the guy in this picture, and I could kind of see it. Like it is a black and white picture, but I could still see it. Somebody made a pretty good GIF where they overlay his face, and it seems to match it pretty good. Now, Anthony is the one that I referenced last night because, you know, so many people thought it was him. He's a grave robber who got charged with stealing Tiffany windows out of a mausoleum to make art with it. So he ended up selling it to a wealthy Japanese art collector and then got busted, got in trouble for it. He just wanted to steal from the mausoleum to make art. A lot of people think this could be him. The problem is the age doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. He would have been way too old. But others are saying, no, maybe he just looks really young in that video. I don't know, you tell me. Again, these links are all going to be up, added on to the comment section, but I think they're actually already up there on the Reddit right now. So if you want to get the links or see any of this stuff, you just go to the Oblivious Benson subreddit and it's right there at the top. Now, another reason people really like Anthony Casamasma is because Anthony Cass, right? But the thing is, he said Anthony Cass, and this is pronounced Casamasma or Casamasma. And people... Another problem is the real Anthony Casamasma died. And there were a lot of pictures of him left behind on his obituary. Now, out of respect for him, we're not going to post it. I'm not going to show it to you, but you can look it up. Absolutely looks nothing like that kid. So I'm willing to bet that even though he kind of looks like him in this picture a little bit, when someone overlays it, that could just be the power of illusion or delusion. And while it seems to fit with the time frame as well, hell, just as much as the other guy. Seemingly not him at all. Especially when you see his ears. No fucking way. Could be the camera person. Now here's where it gets interesting. Christopher Bucci. Let's go with him first. Now, Christopher Bucci is a guy who is a director. And he directs kind of low budget, cheap horror films and has for a long time. Christopher Bucci's name is spelled Bouchie. If you go to IMDb, you will see recently this has been put up there. It has not been there for a very long time. It has literally been up there for about a year. Christopher Bucci, actually in 2024, so a year. Christopher Bucci is tagged as being the director of Grave Robbing for Morons. Like it straight up says, directed by him, created by him. But what's interesting about that, and here I'll show you it even has a rating, but what's interesting about that is in order to take control of your IMDb, you have to get an account, typically a paid account, to edit a lot of it. And this person who put this up seemingly created a fake cover for it because this cover was not the same cover from back in the olden days. Let me share this with you. But it does have its own IMDb page, Grave Robbing for Morons. Again, put up about last year. Okay. It is listed as 1990. Very interesting. Director Christopher Bucci. It's got stills from it, and they're very bright, very nice. But you have to remember the original VHS that was put up. That's what it looks like. You would think so, wouldn't you, darling? You would think it's got to be him, right? He's got to have something to do with this. 5.9. Here's the problem. He doesn't have an IMDb account. This is not his. Somebody put this up for him. It got put up around the same time that people started contemplating it on Reddit. In fact, he has been harassed, bothered, accused of, and cited as the person to create this for over 30 years because of his last name and because he makes horror films. And he has repeatedly denied having anything to do with it. And he's kind of pissed off and wishes people would stop. He also doesn't seem to match the age. There's many things that debunk him. So basically, someone put this up on his behalf. But what gets even weirder is that if you go down, you'll see right here, Grave Robbing for Morons 2. Now, I had never seen this before until I started looking into this again to cover it. And I said, this must be new. Well, it is. It actually came out in 2024. It's 9 minutes long. I'm going to show you the trailer real quick. Because see how it says, in 1990 YouTube sensation, the Grave Robbing for Morons gang resurfaces in 2024 with a message for all you morons out there. I have not seen anyone post about this anywhere on the internet where people are arguing about grave robbing for Morons 1. I don't think anyone who's been looking into it even knows there's a 2 out there, let alone that it is attached to an all of a sudden up and coming IMDb page for this guy Bucci. But what's even weirder is Bucci's not cited in this at all, which makes me think that the person who posted this might have created the Bucci page. Now, for those of you who are not big My Chemical Romance fans, you might not notice this name right here, but Jameson Matthews is the guy on the cover of the My Chemical Romance album where he's kissing the girl and they're facing each other. That's him right there in the egg chair. Now I looked at him and I go, oh my God, is that him? Hold on a second. Is this the long-awaited update to grave robbing for morons? Were we really all duped? Let's watch this and then I will tell you the truth. Actually, God damn it. I have to pause it and reshare it so that you can hear it. Hold on 1 second. Share screen. And don't worry, the answer to this question of, is this legit? Did we figure it out? Oh, it's not what you think. I promise it's not. Okay. All right, there we go. We're going to play the trailer now. Well, this shit's glitchy as fuck. This is why nobody gets an IMDb account. I have one someone put up for me that I have no control over, which is also how I know that. But here we go.
On this big, or if it's a male, you might have lines like that from the baldness. Okay? Now, so what you do is you grab it around here. You grab it here and peel it back like that. Okay? Peel it back. All right, this video is that way you will learn if you're a beginner to this thing.
Is it going?
It's going. It's going.
And all you people in those comments for years saying this, that, and the other thing about my stuttering, about how I don't know shit about robbing no graves, make me out to be some kind of a joke. How many jokes you know in Queens got a bomb-ass fireplace like this?
Okay. Well, so now it's time to spill the beans. That's not him. That's absolutely not him, Kate. That's absolutely not him. Jameson would have been a teeny little child back when that was made. But it is the guy from the My Chemical Romance album cover who also happened to be a dancer in Britney Spears music videos, who also happened to work with Britney Spears a lot, worked with a lot of famous people, worked with a ton of emo bands, was in an emo band, partied with My Chemical Romance, does the conventions. That's just him making a follow-up to Pronk. Hence why it says comedy. That is not the real Tony. It's just a guy dicking around. And when I tell you I felt baloney folded when I watched it, I was so pissed because it looked like him, which tells you he's a great actor and you should hire him. So, Christopher Bucci says, not me. There's no evidence that it is him. Josh Folan and Jameson Matthews are not old enough, and they were doing a prank. Okay? Then you have Matthias, who apparently graduated a whole decade before, who doesn't seem to fit any of the facial qualities, and who is a black man who also self-harms a lot on his Facebook, which is another reason we're not going to show it. But also has all these strange coincidences of like doing the exact thing that the kid talks about in the video back in that time frame. Kind of wild. Not him still. And then you have Anthony Casamillas, who looks nothing like anyone, and he's not the list kid. So that was just kind of a guy who got honed in on for no reason. And he's already dead, and again, was way too old. I mean, he stole some glass from a mausoleum to make art. He didn't steal bones. Pretty crazy. Then you have one last post that people always look back at and go, this seems about right. I'm going to read it to you because it does name some names I have to censor out. Someone posted this under a YouTube video, then quoted it and read it. This is a guy named Screws. He was from Ozone Park, New York, and was part of JHS 202 Robert H. Goddard, class of 1994. All you have to do is dig in the 1990 to 1994 yearbooks and you'll find him. This Anthony fits the age of the video, aka Screws. Dates it from being early 1990s. He studied around the same area that the YouTube comment points out. It's not that hard to find somebody born in the 70s to not have social media. As far as I know, this is the only Anthony Casamassa that was a teenager around this part of New York. There are yearbooks available from schools around that area, but no Casamassa to be found. Hope that helps. Now, I found Anthony Casamassa in the yearbook, and it was that class in that school. But again, doesn't look anything like him and has no history of that shit. He's an art kid. Now, the interesting thing is Screws was also brought up on a YouTube sub. And the story there is that Screws was actually a different guy. Screws was a guy who ran or worked at a chop shop, who used to sell skulls to Santeria and magic people, who was kind of a junkie and also homeless from time to time, and who was found folded backwards with the back of his knees touching his ears, completely backwards, in a dumpster dead over 20 years ago. That is the only comment that describes Screws, but it is not Anthony Casamasias. They say it's a guy named Screws. And apparently the dumpster he was found in was in Whitestone, near some train tracks behind a building. I couldn't find shit on him. I couldn't find shit on a body behind a building bent backwards in half in Whitestone that was that old. Still trying to find it. So that's the update. That's how far it's come. So far, everyone who's been posed as a potential, some who seem to fit pretty damn close, almost too close, it's uncomfortable. All of them seem to have something major wrong with them that makes it not that good. Also, the whole video could be bullshit. What do you guys think? I have the thread up in the Oblivious Benson subreddit. You can feel free to go there and pick each other's brains, talk about it, and maybe there's something we missed out. I'm going to post all of these links in there. All of these links for you. Maybe I'll also post the Daily Burtle. You love the one before Titanic? Oh, shit. You guys like that weird one, don't you? Never wanting another man. So anyway. Yeah, I don't know who the fuck that guy is. I'm going to keep going. Here's what I did do. Just to be certain, I wrote to Matthias in jail, and we'll see what happens. Toss a little JPay, send a little email. Let's see what happens. Kazamasama, I did find some old friends of his who reflect on him. I have not bothered them, but after reading more about him, I just don't think that it could be him at all. I think that that was just a simple convenience of last name in that one article. Bushi or whatever, I'm having a little problem with. I do wonder if maybe he is involved and has been denying it because he doesn't want to get in trouble, because maybe this kid was one of his friends. He doesn't want to be an accomplice. I don't know. Maybe he has a reputation now. Maybe he has kids now. I don't know. So what do you guys think? Grave robbing for morons. It's another one of those things that will just keep you up at night. Anyway. Drugs. Exactly, darling. Drugs and dead. That seems to be the consensus. You think he likely died young. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, we will keep discussing this and see what we can find. I'm a little stunned at how many people can fit like a portrait of a person that you would expect, and the evidence all seems to fit. Everything seems perfect, but not them. Blue piece black. What are you gonna do? So yeah, it doesn't fit. Grave digging does keep you up at night. See, Toombs is just very jealous. So, with that said, that's the show. That's the show. That was it. Did you have fun? Did you enjoy that? I do have to go now. I do have to go finish work. I am going to give you some funnies, though, before we leave. And I will do this if I won't have to go put the whole link up. I'm going to have to find all that shit. If you guys, I have 3 cassettes left. I think I had them up for like 20 for just the cassettes. But I think I might put up a link, or hold on. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a cassette with a print and some bird pages. I'll just put the 3 up for 20, and the first to get them can have them. But here's what I'll do. If you don't see a link, well, you know what you can do? You can Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal me and just put a note who it is or your email address in there, and then I will get your address and mail it to you if you want one. And if not, I will keep them. But if you want a gold or rose gold, let me know. I think I mainly have I think I have 2 gold and 1 rose gold left. So we'll just do that. Okay. You guys ready to see someone who floated out of their grave? Oh my God. Me too. It's Shadow.